The George and Pudgy Show. Starring Milt Stiltskin as George Coinbridge. Co-starring Bill Dokie as Pudgy Coinbridge. Also starring Schmitzy Poldonka as Maggie Coinbridge. And Margaret Meadow Muffin as Mildred Coinbridge. Along with Falk Boyley, Peter Peters, and special guest star Percy Tinkles. Welcome to our presentation of A Hunting We Will Go.
This is the Gum Chewy Radio Network. Tonight's episode of the George and Pudgy Show, A Hunting We Will Go, is brought to you by Dirk Gherkin's brined and pickled fine smoking cigars. Did you know that Dirk Gherkin grows and picks his own tobacco and that he himself rolls his cigars between his thighs before pickling them in the finest Miller moth vinegars and smoked salts for that smooth, mellow, satisfying flavor you'll only find in a genuine Dirk Gherkin cigar. And by the makers of Mama Floppa's sweet American-style fire-roasted fish balls. Mama Floppa's uses only the finest fish balls money can buy. These fish balls are ripped off at the peak of flavor, then gently washed and fire-roasted over an open pit. Then canned and cooked in Mama Floppa's special sweet and salty ball water. Mama Floppa's, a name to remember, a taste you won't forget.
Will the guys be wearing their caveats? Will George and the gang discover that Twin Falls is an only child? Did they make a left turn at Albuquerque? Let's listen in to find out.
It looks like our next destination is Twin Falls, Idaho. Oh, look, Maggie, on the map, the fastest way to Twin Falls takes us through the tip of Colorado, just before we go into Utah. Yeah, so if we stop in Cortez, it's only about 40 miles to Four Corners. What's Four Corners? It's the only place in the whole country that you can be in 4 states at the same time. George, when we get to, what was the name of that city, Mildred? Cortez, Colorado. By the way, George, drive east till you see Highway 550. Cortez, Colorado. Can we go see the Four Corners, George?
It's okay by me. How about you, Pudge?
Sure, why not? I've never been in more than 4 states at once.
No, but you were wanted in 4 states at once.
How they got me confused with that other schmuck could have only been a setup.
Yeah, no kidding. You didn't look a thing like... what was his name?
Horace Pinkish-Meckle. That's right. What a mook. Wanted in 4 states for leaving his morning routine in the backseat of patrol cars.
He was known as the backseat bomber.
I still think it was Officer Thicktwiddle, that fathead desk sergeant that told the state boys that I was Horace Pinkish-Meckle, then gave him one of my mugshots. There I was at work loading the truck. The next thing I knew, I was in the Furbush jail with a bunch of crummy flatfoots yelling at me about doing things in the backseat of all these cop cars. The worst part was looking at the pictures they took for evidence.
Thank goodness they caught the backseat bomber, the real Horace Pinkish-Meckle. The morning in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, in the middle of a bombing mission, in the chief of a police's car.
The chief wanted to shoot him.
I don't blame him. We're at Highway 550. Which way do we go, Mildred?
Well, looking at Albuquerque, the map, it says we need to take a left turn. Twin Falls, Idaho. We're on our way.
You don't mind if Pudgy sits up with the front with me this time, do you, Maggie?
It's just fine with me, George. While we are on the drive to Four Corners, Mildred and I will have time to catch up on all the Furbush gossip.
Speaking of Four Corners, remember when that beat cop cornered us after we spent most of the day telling people outside Dry's Donut Shop that the baker Plaid Foster wasn't using a cutter to put holes in the donuts?
He had no sense of humor, that guy. I knew he was riled up, but I never expected him to call the cops. But you know something? It's long over for us, but I know, and you know, that the baker knows that he will always be suspected of doing bad things to good donuts.
We may not have lots of money, but we're rich with memories.
I think so too, George.
Are we in Cortez yet, George?
We sure are, Maggie, and we just made the turn to go to Four Corners.
How exciting. I think that's over there, George. See where all those cars are parked?
I see them. I have to admit, I'm a little excited too.
That's it? A little plaque on the ground? We drive 40 miles for this?
Don't be such a stick in the mud, Pudgy. What did you expect? The Empire State Building? Don't forget, Pudgy, you can be in 4 states at once. Not wanted in 4 states.
She's got you there, Pudgy. Come on, let's be in 4 states at the same time. Let's have as much fun with this as we can. Who knows if we'll ever be here again?
Right you are, Georgie boy.
Did you know that not only is this where Arizona, Utah, New Mexico, and Colorado meets, but it's also the boundary between the Navajo and the Ute tribes? How do you know that, Mildred? I read it on the visitor's pamphlet.
That's my Mildred.
Before we get back on the way to Twin Falls, how about if we get something to eat?
That's a good idea, George. I've been seeing signs for fry bread. Let's get some and try it. I've seen the signs too. I'm with Maggie.
How about you, Pudgy?
I have a feeling I'll face a lynch mob if I say no.
Friday night is the perfect night for a drive-in movie, and what a better snack to have than a can of Mama Floppa's sweet American-style fire-roasted fish balls. Why, it's almost a picnic in a can. Mama Floppa herself rips the ripened fish balls off at the peak of flavor. She then gently washes them in fresh spring water before roasting them over an open pit. Then, at the peak of flavor, they are canned and cooked in Mama Floppa's special sweet and salty ball water. So sit back with your sweetheart, watch the movies, and enjoy goodness that's packed in every fish ball. That's Mama Floppa's, a name to remember, a taste you won't forget.
Boy, that was a meal to remember. I don't know what everything was, but it sure was good.
Oh, I went a long drive, almost another 1,000 miles in less than 24 hours.
We wouldn't have to be on such long drives if Mr. Cheapskate here would spring for a hotel room.
The whole thing is supposed to be paid for. It's no skin off of my nose if we have to drive an extra few hours to get a free hotel.
Speaking of hotels, what was the name of the one we need here in Twin Falls?
The Perrine Hotel. What do you possibly know about this hotel, Mildred? You mean other than the name? Nothing.
It's my Mildred.
Howdy, folks. How can I help you?
We should have a reservation. We're on the gum chewy nationwide scavenger hunt.
Well, I'll be. Great to meet y'all. I'm supposed to give you this envelope. My name is Wonky. If there's anything I can do for you folks, just let me know. I'm here 12 hours a day.
Your name is Wonky. What is it? Anyways, we asked every place we stay. Where's a good place to eat?
Well, most folks go to the Depot Grill, just across the street and down the block to the right. You can't miss it.
Thanks, Wonky.
Good morning, folks.
You brought us coffee and we haven't ordered anything yet.
Yes, sir. Most folks order coffee before looking at the menu, so I figured I'd save you the wait and bring the coffee now.
That's really nice of you.
Thank you. Are you folks ready to order?
I'll have steak and eggs, and I want mine scrambled and my steak rare.
That comes with hash browns or home fried potatoes.
Hash browns, please.
And what can I get for you, ma'am?
I'll have the same, except I want my steak medium well.
Make it 3 steaks with hash browns. I want my steak rare also.
Well, I guess I'm the only one that wants my eggs over easy. And steak rare with hash browns.
Got it. 4 steaks, 1 medium well, 3 rare, also 3 with scrambled eggs, 1 over sleazy, and all with hash browns. I'll have it out in a jiffy.
Hey, while we're waiting for our breakfast, how about opening that envelope and let's see what we have to find this time.
Okay. It says Kennebec.
Kennebec? That sounds like a medical condition.
I don't think they want us to get any diseases, Pudgy. If we have learned anything on this trip, none of our ideas on what these things were have been right.
Okay, folks, steak and eggs for everyone, scrambled eggs, medium rare here, here, and here, and your eggs over easy.
Let me get another cup of mud while you're here.
There's a pot that just finished brewing. I'll be back in a jiffy.
Hey, Georgie, you should sell these hash browns in your place.
He's right, George. The folks in Furbush would love these potatoes.
Did I hear you say you folks like the Kennebecs?
That's it! Potatoes! Kennebec is a potato?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Our cook won't use any other kind.
Well, it's about time we ran into a little luck.
I can't believe it.
No one will go to jail this time.
You've just enjoyed dinner, and now it's time to relax with a cool, smoking, long-burning Dirk Gherkin cigar. Dirk grew up in the cucumber fields of Kentucky, and as a young man, Dirk learned to enjoy the flavor of mothball vinegars. Over time, he has taken that love and put it into each and every one of his Gherkin's gassers. They smell like last week's garbage.
Yesterday was the best. We found our scavenger hunt item without even trying, and we got to spend the day relaxing at the pool. It was a gas watching George and Pudgy. You would think they were teenagers by the way they were acting.
Can I help it if Pudgy and me know how to have fun at a swimming pool?
I thought I would die laughing when you tripped the waiter and watched him fall into the pool with a tray full of food.
I didn't think it was funny. I was still brushing spaghetti noodles from my hair this morning. At least it was later in the day when he did that.
Pudgy and me needed to blow off a little steam. And now we're on our way to the Riverside Hotel in Reno, Nevada, and our 5th and final scavenger hunt item.
Did you know that Reno is called the biggest little city in the world? How do you know that? My cousin, 3 times removed, worked in a casino. I met her 2 years ago at a family reunion.
It should take us only a few hours to get to Reno.
This is the shortest distance we've had to travel so far.
What was that noise?
We got a flat tire. I'll pull over. There's a good spot just up ahead.
I'll get the spare out of the trunk. Hey, Georgie, you don't have a spare tire back here?
I sure did. I checked it before we left Fordbush. Why?
Are you sure? It's not in the trunk.
Oh no. I'm so sorry. I took it out while we were stopped in Oklahoma City. I took it out to make room for my postcards, and I forgot to put it back.
You needed room for postcards?
They are in that box.
What did you do, Mildred? There has to be 3,000 or 4,000 postcards here.
I could never make up my mind which postcards to get, so I would take one of each they had at every place we stopped.
There's gotta be 40 pounds of postcards in this box.
Well, nice going, Mildew. We're in the middle of nowhere with a flat tire and no spare. Mildew? Mildew? Okay, maggot. I didn't mean to leave it. I was just rearranging the trunk to put my box of souvenir postcards when George yelled at me to get in the car and I forgot the spare.
Okay. Stop with the name calling. What's done is done.
Will the gang get the flat tire fixed? Will Mildred have to mail all of her postcards home? Will the crew ever make it to Reno? Be sure to tune in next week for part 6 of A Hunting We Will Go on the George and Pudgy Show.
Tonight's episode of the George and Pudgy Show, A Hunting We Will Go, is brought to you by Dirk Gherkin's Brined and Pickled Fine Smoking Cigars. Did you know that Dirk Gherkin grows and picks his own tobacco, and that he himself rolls his cigars between his thighs before pickling them in the finest Miller moth vinegars and smoke salts for that smooth, mellow, satisfying flavor you'll only find in a genuine Dirk Gherkin cigar? And by the makers of Mama Floppa's Sweet American-style fire-roasted fish balls. Mama Floppa's uses only the finest fish balls money can buy. These fish balls are ripped off at peak of flavor, then gently washed and fire-roasted over an open pit. Then they are canned and cooked in Mama Floppa's special sweet and salty ball water. Mama Floppa's, a name to remember, a taste you won't forget.